Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's Sunday preview. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Sunday preview: Old World Reinforcements and the Army of the Solar Auxilia. And I gotta say right off the bat, this is one of Games Workshop's biggest releases ever. Massive amount of miniatures coming. We've got a huge Sunday preview this week, including the Solar Auxilia Battle Group and new miniatures for the Horus Heresy. Then there's a massive second wave of releases for the Tomb Kings of Khemri and Kingdom of Bratonia. Check it all out in the video below. So there is a little video. We're going to skip over that and take a look at the full article. Alright, so first and foremost, we've got the Solar Auxilia Battle Group. The Solar Auxilia supported the legions of Astartes during the Great Crusade, and when Horus began his insurrection, their forces were split amongst the 18 legions, getting stuck in the thickest fights on both sides. So we got this shown off recently, and this is the launch box for the Solar Auxilia Battle Group in Warhammer Horus Heresy. And these models are absolutely awesome and the beginning of essentially a new range. Containing 28 brand new miniatures, the Solar Auxilia Battle Group brings them to plastic for the first time. A 5-man line command section consists of Auxilia Troopmaster and 4 Auxilia veterans with a variety of upgrade choices, leads a complement of 20 Auxilia armed with las rifles. There's also a Leman Russ strike tank, an Atheon pattern heavy sentinel, and a Dracosan armored transport. 2 Solar Auxilia transfer sheets and 2 Solar Auxilia vehicle transfer sheets featuring over 150 transfers each are provided. While rules for the units can be found in the Liber Imperium, the Forces of the Emperor Army book. So this is basically the Imperial Guard or Astra Militarum plastic range coming to Horus Heresy. So very, very cool. And a massive expansion for the actual game itself, as it's primarily Loyalist and Chaos, at least in plastic. So the ability to be able to start fielding some of the other armies or factions in plastic is very, very big as well. So we know a lot of these boxes have been coming out lately, and most of them had been priced somewhere around like the $220 range with the book included. So this one does not come with the book. It's also for Horus Heresy, but I do expect it to be somewhere around that $200 price point, give or take a couple bucks. So very cool, very exciting, and the beginning of a brand new range in Horus Heresy, at least in plastic. All right, and then we have the Solar Auxilia dice set. Roll in style while fielding your Solar Auxilia with this set of 20 dice, which includes 19 regular 6-sided dice, featuring a pearlescent gray and black swirl pattern with the Solar Auxilia on the 6 face and 1 scatter dice. So nice, very legible, good looking dice right here. I'm a big fan of like the marble pearlescent swirl. All right, and then we have the Stormseer Consul. So again, for Horus Heresy, the Psyker of the White Scars learned from the ancient traditions of Chogoris, whose shamans were able to predict and control the weather. A synthesis of psychic power and ancient tradition produced the Stormseer Consuls, warriors wielding the meteorological might to aid their allies that strike down their foes. This is an expert kit made from Forge World resin and comes with 2 head options. So nice looking model right here. Obviously Forge World resin, so that's a big pass for me. But very, very cool, unique. Has a nice blend of like the Horus Heresy, like armor, and then a bunch of like additional details and everything. Unique looking staff. Good looking model right here. And then next we have the Dark Emissary Consul. Wielding a staff of dark authority, the Dark Emissary Consul is a pair of watchful eyes for the War Master Horus, ensuring that allies of the Sons of Horus meet his exacting standards. The Dark Emissary has no compunction as a grim executioner to enforce his master's will either. This is an expert kit made from Forge World resin. So again, really nice looking model right here. Big fan of like the style that they have done with the little like relics on the chains and everything. Nice looking staff, good armor, cloak, all that stuff. Just nice looking model right here. Again, just very unfortunate that these models are so cool, but coming in resin unnecessarily, because in the end, the only reason they're making these in resin is because they don't expect that they can make enough of them to make a profit if they put them in plastic. And that is just a darn shame. All right, and then we have the Apothecarion Detachment. The unyielding legions of Astartes require medical aid on the battlefield, and apothecaries are responsible for caring for the wounded and delivering final mercy to those beyond saving. Their duty also extends to recovering the gene seed should an Astartes fall. These two are a single expert kit made from Forge World resin. So these were shown off a long time ago, and obviously now finally hitting the shelves. Again, Forge World resin, unfortunately, but nice looking models right here. We did see that there's also like some various head options and stuff like that. And it is a 2-pack of apothecaries. Alright, and then next coming for Warhammer the Old World, we have the brand new Tomb King Necrolith Bone Dragon. So this was initially featured in the launch box set, still available, and now we'll get an actual price on it and have an idea as to how great of a deal that box really is. Necrolith Bone Dragons are ancient skeletal behemoths reanimated by the power of Lich priests to carry them into battle. They hew men apart with fossilized claws and turn them into withering corpses with their vile, desiccating breath. So nice looking model here. It's more of like a crocodilian sort of like looking dragon. I'm definitely a fan of it. I like it. I think it's going to be at the heart of some cool conversions and kit bashes, as it just is a really nice looking model. Comes with some options for like the actual rider and datasheet and everything. Just good looking stuff right here, and nice to see it be featured on its own. Alright, and then here we can see the optional assembly as the Lich Priest, and then you can see that the rider then becomes their own model. This massive plastic miniature can be built with 2 different howdahs, one decide for a Mortarch of Nehakara, and the other for a Lich Priest on the Mortuary Cult. If you build this kit with the Lich Priest rider, you can also build a Tomb King on foot. And then we have Nekaph, Emissary of Setra. Cool model right here. Definitely like the little scarabs crawling up the scroll and everything. Setra the Imperishable is a tyrant like no other, and his list of titles and conquests far exceeds that of any mortal man. His immortal emissary Nekaph arrives before battle and shrieks all his master's titles, before joining his liege in the battle to lay low his enemies in the flail of conquered kings. This is an expert kit made from Forge World Resin. So a very cool old kit coming back in resin, or is this new? I'm not sure, honestly. I would say based on like the detail and everything, it's got to be a new kit. Alright, and then we have the Tomb Kings of Khemri returning in plastics. So a lot of these models again coming back from the box set, but now being sold separately. Swell the ranks of your reanimated armies and take over the old world in plastic with these returning kits. The Skeleton Warrior box contains 36 miniatures, which can either be built as Skeleton Warriors or Skeleton Archers, and includes a command retinue option for standard bearers, champions, and musicians. So this is one kit right here, and then they just have built half of them, 18, with spears and shields, and then the other 18 with bows. But alternatively, you could build all 36 one way or the other. And then we see like the command retinue here. The Skeleton Horseman box contains 16 miniatures, which can be built as Skeleton Horsemen or Skeleton Horse Archers, plus relevant command units. Finally, the Skeleton Chariots box contains 3 bony vehicles with options including a champion, a standard bearer, and a musician. So 16 miniatures in this set. Again, we see 8 and 8. The archers and the spear/shield, and then of course like some command members. And then here we see the 3 chariots right here as well. So cool models. Definitely nice to see them coming back in like these big kits so that you can fill out your ranks with like one box of them. And then also like the price per model is a lot better than if they were being sold in like the smaller quantities like we see in most of the 40k and Sigmar stuff that's coming out now. 3 Tomb King units are returning in metal. The special character Prince Apothecarion, a whip-wielding Necrotech, and a Tomb King on chariot, which combines a metal miniature with a plastic chariot. So all those are in metal and old models coming back. And then we have the Tomb Kings remastered in resin. So a lot of these were shown off recently. Further classics are returning in Forge World Resin with remastered elements. The Tomb Scorpion and Screaming Skull Catapult have both been changed to make them easier to build, with clearer details sculpted into the catapult. The Carrion also returned as a set of 3 miniatures, 2 of which were previously available, with 1 new pose designed to match the originals. So very cool, featured in a recent article. Definitely some nice looking models right here. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video. Alright, and then for the Bretonians, Knights of the Realm on foot. The Knights of the Realm are minor nobles sworn to protect the fiefdom of their dukes. Some prefer to charge into combat on foot, wielding either their 2-handed halberds or hand weapons and shields. This box builds 20 Knights of the Realm on foot, armed with either a halberd or a classic sword and shield combo, and enough parts to create 2 command groups if you prefer 2 blocks of 10 knights. So very cool. And here we can see them with the halberds, and then of course with the swords and shields, and we see the command groups and everything. Nice looking setup right here. These are cool models. And again, these were featured in the launch box. Lord with Great Weapon. A genuine hidden gem returns to the old world. The unreleased Lord with Great Weapon and accompanying Helm Bearer. This is the holy grail of many a collector, if you'll excuse the pun. Planned as a Games Day exclusive miniature, you can now buy this metal miniature 13 years later. So unreleased and coming out for the first time technically. Man, is that face a little bit on the derpy side. You can definitely see the age on these ones. Alright, and then we have some Knights of the Realm. Ride out to defend the kingdom of Bratonia with these reboxed plastic miniatures. The Knights of the Realm box builds either 12 Knights of the Realm or the impetuous Knights Errant, with enough pieces to create up to 2 command retinues. So again, here we see like the 12 models split into 2 groups of 6. Very cool. Definitely a big fan of like the knights in their lance formation and everything. Look cool. And then we have the Kingdom of Bratonia returning medals. Plenty of Kingdom of Bratonia metal kits are returning in metal. These include a Bretonian Squire and Squire's Command, and questing knights and their command, brandishing 2-handed swords. And then we have 2 Prothesis of the Lady are also coming in metal, alongside the Green Knight, the ultimate paragon of virtue, Sacred Protector of Bratonia, and one of the best miniatures of all time. So good looking models right here, and good to see them returning. Very cool. And then obviously these are nice. We can see the difference between these models coming back and the new models that they made. Massive, massive difference in quality. Then of course the Green Knight, and this guy just really holds up nicely. I would absolutely love to see them remaster the Green Knight, or should I say recreate the Green Knight in plastic. This was one of the coolest models of all time, one of the most fun painting projects. And although this model really holds up and is a total classic, and I'm glad they're re-releasing it, I just can't even imagine what they would do with a brand new Green Knight in plastic. And I would imagine it's just a matter of time before they do. Let's just hope that they don't decide to go with like a forge rolled resin when that is the case, or if that is the case, because that's the best way to ruin an awesome model like this. All right, and then we have White Dwarf 498. The greatest gaming magazine in the world is back with combat patrol rules for Ventarion's Voidsman, a rogue trader and her crew. And for games of 3 and 4 players, for Kill Team, The Blades of Cain, rules are published, while the Warhammer Age of Sigmar, there are new rules for massive games of Gathering of Might and Baron Vengulper. In Warhammer Quest, Cursed City, and that's just scratching the surface with great content for many more game systems. So very cool. I'm assuming that that's going to be basically like the Voidsman, like turned into a combat patrol, but we'll have to see. All right, and then from Black Library, we have the Hollow King Special Edition. The Soulblight vampire who accepted the curse of his people and kingdom fell to chaos, Cato Ezekiar now roams the realm of death, seeking retribution and salvation for ones he has failed. Aided by the bound spirits of those who lost, Cato follows a path of revenge, hunting the servants of chaos to slake his need for blood while seeking the sorcerer to change who destroyed his kingdom. When his hunt leads him to the free city of Aventhus, Cato becomes caught up in the machinations of great powers, beings who see the city and his people as dust in the eyes of ambitious gods. So very, very cool cover right here. Really nice looking. I'm definitely going to be after this one. I love the like bats on the side here as well. Really, really cool special edition. And then from the officially licensed products, we have some old Codex covers as art prints. Very nice. 24 Stone Cold Classic pieces of Warhammer art from an earlier era are also going on sale next Saturday. These are iconic covers from the Codexes and Warhammer Army books, covering many of your favorite factions in the vivid color palette that was the style at the time. These prints are available in the UK, the US, Australia, New Zealand, and Japan. The American versions come framed. So very cool, lots and lots of releases. I'm sure a lot of people are excited to see the Astra Militarum or Imperial Guard coming in plastic to the Horus Heresy. And then of course, tons and tons of models coming for the old world, some reimagined and remastered old models, as well as the individual releases from many of the plastic new models in the box sets. So let me know what you're most excited about, what you're going to be picking up. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm really liking these new Astra Militarum, and I'm out of here.